So, hello, hello everyone. Welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Vishwanath, and in this video, I am going to explain the home page of my student portal project. First, I will explain the user interface, and after that, I will explain the code. Okay. So now, let's run to the code on the browser. Okay. Okay. Hold a second. Okay. So now, here's my. It is start with my overall interface of this page. Okay. So this UI is clean, simple, and easy. Okay, for the students. Now it's a header section UI. So at the top of the page we have a header section. It's a header section. It's called header section. Okay. Now the left side is the logo with the text student portal. Okay, and then now the right side there is a navigation bars. Okay, so the navigation bars including links, likes, like home, profile, courses, feedback, and grades and contact us pages. This helps user move too easily between different pages. Okay, here is a more just like I want to open my profile. Just navigation bar. It's mean they navigate the whole pages, which just like I want profile of student. Then that time I open profile and I want to courses. So I want to open courses. I want feedback. I want to open now. Used to use navigation bar and click feedback button. Then use feedback. So it's a navigate to whole page. So it's called that's called navigation. Okay. Now let's move on to the main section. It's called hero UI. Like you can call anything, but I just called you hero section. Okay. Below below the header below the header there is main section. Okay. Okay, also called the hero section. Okay, then this section show the welcome message with the username. Okay. Okay, under the welcome message there is the short paragraph. There is a short paragraph. Okay, that motivates student the learn, explore, and grow. This text explain the purpose of the student portal. Okay, now bottom button, it is a button UI. Okay, so below the paragraph there is the button. Okay, called view profile. This is button help to user click navigate to their profile. So I want to open student profile. That time I will click view profile. So there they just I click and then open student profile. Okay, now footer section. The at the bottom of the page we have footer section. The footer content footer contains copyright information and the design by name. Okay, UIs overall this UI is user friendly, well structured, and designed by students. Explanation of uh, student portal student profile portal. Okay, now let's jump to the code section. Okay, so I will explain code. So first we use HTML boilerplate, and there are boilerplate inside lots of tags and values. So let's explain each and everything. Okay, so first I add doctype HTML. So what is doctype HTML mean? It's mean they are showing we use HTML5. So it's mean that doctype HTML is it's the symbol of HTML5. Okay, and then HTML lang. So here is we start HTML here and set a language. So lang value property use value English. So it's mean the whole page written by English. Okay, then head section inside some meta tags and title and links. Okay, so we are explore each and everything meta tags and titles and links. Okay, so first the meta character UTF-8. What is meta character UTF-8? Okay, so it's an encoding decoding method. Like user enter abc 123, so browser didn't understand user abcd. Only computer understanding 0 and 1 form just binary number. So here is rules of some keywords and the sets of rules. That's called character set. So they are encoding decoding method. Enter using a, so browser understanding 1 and 0, so they are transferring the transfer to binary number. So it's a it's a whole method. It's a it's a character. It's a method for the encoding decoding method. Okay. Now let's jump to the next meta tag name viewport. Okay, viewport content width device width initial scale 1.0. So it's mean that it's a meta tag used for uh, bro- any browser and just like any device like a mobile, tablet, laptop. So according to device, automatically there are just content, so that content and code. So just the UI. So that that time we using viewport meta tag. Okay. So now title. The title it's mean that it's mean that uh, profile page name like is showing student is a title. So here is a title of web page. So title basically showing web page's name. Now we link here. I link here HTML page. Real means they are showing style sheet link. The href is the hyper reference for the pages. There where is the store your pages. They are linked here. Okay, here hyper reference. So we add here CSS file. Now jump to the here is our head text sections close. Now body section. So body inside and one more thing, headers inside any element didn't show in your browser because he is a meta data and meta contents he can't he didn't show. Okay, then body section you write anything here, so he saw on the browser. Okay, so do you want anything so your browser, so you can add body section inside. So here is any content showing browser web page. Okay, now I start here body section and body section inside first header section. Header section means here is a header section. Okay, so header sections first I add one div and their class name is logo. Okay, why are you using class is the identification. I want any changes to, in div student logos, so that time we will using class and I will change logo uh, and their style like this. Okay, now here is a logo add header section. Now now bar. So now bar inside I am using unordered list and unordered list using unordered list items and list item inside I am using links. Okay, links I am using links. I used links. So first order list order here is a linked index dot page in home button. Okay, here is the home button, just I click, so that time using home button. Now I'm in home, so that's why he not open. I want to open profile, so that time he open. So here is work for here is work for here is a list items and then list item inside using links. So I links multiple pages in this links. Okay, so first is home page, second profile, courses, feedback and grades and contacts. Here is some pages here the pages and I link to the every pages to in this text. Okay, the user clicks any now li item, so there time using pages. Okay, so now here is the header now bar end and header end. Okay, now we move on to the section main section that's called hero section. Okay, so what is hero section? It's the main section of the web page. Okay, so hero section inside I am using heading. So heading it's mean that H1 is the main heading of the web page. So I there is a showing welcome as welcome and username. So here is showing welcome. Now Utkumar Nagwat here is username. So they are showing um, username. Okay, welcome. You will welcome as for users. Okay. Now added one paragraph using paragraph tag and I did some text. There's a for building the student competence and learn something new. That's why I'm using paragraph and add some lines. Okay, and then in this line below I add a one button for the view profile and link page for the using link tag, anchor tag using link and hr hyper reference, and I pass the hyper reference for the uh, profile pages link and class and then class name is button. Okay, so just user click in this button, so that time hyper reference called profile page and then using our profile page. Okay, so I'll try. Okay, understand. Okay, now now move on to the there is a main section is completed. Now move on to the footer section. Footer section inside paragraph I add copyright footer section is, I add copyright message for the user and who is made this this design. So here's the copyright symbol, and here's some message for the copyright, and here is the footer end, and then we end your body and HTML. Here is code. That's all about my home page uh, HTML explanation. Now next video I will explain CSS in home pages. Okay, thank you. Okay, so now I will explain the CSS used home page step by step, and I will also explain why used each properties. Okay, so let's move on to the code. Okay, so here is the HTML code and here is the CSS code. So today I will explain CSS. Okay, so universal selector. For, first I used universal selector, which is the target for the HTML elements. Okay, here is the universal selector. Okay, first, sorry, is not a universal selector. Here is the universal selector. Okay, so first margin 0. This is the remove default outer space giving by browser. Okay, and second padding 0, the remove default inner spacing from the all elements, and third is border sizing border box. This is the very important layout. It's ensure that padding and border are including inside the elements width and height. This makes layout calculation easier and prevent overflow issues. Okay, now, okay, here universal is completed. Now move on to the body styling. Okay, so first font family, I use Poppy font to make text modern and readable, and sans serif font are clean and easy to read on screen. In case Poppy didn't work, that time use work sans serif. Okay, so one is second one background linear gradient. Okay, so instead of the salt color used to gradient background, this is makes the UI look soft and professional. Second one is colors H333. Okay, so it's used dark gray inside the pure black. This is the reduce easy straining and improving readability. Okay, to text. Now move on to the header styling. Okay, header styling. First, background color using hexa values. So hexa value are using blue color. Blue color represent truth and education, which is suit our student portal. Okay. Now second one is now second one is and then second one I use display flex, and text color is white to text inside the header. Their text color is white. Okay, and third one is display flex. I use display flex align item easily inside the header and on display flex. And then again next one is justify content space between. This is the pose poses of the logo to the left and navigation to the right. So that's why using I am justify content space between. And second one is align item center. This vertically centered the content inside the header. So that's why using I'm justify contents center. Okay, here is justify content center. And now next one is padding 50 pixel and then 15 pixel and 40 pixel. Okay, so padding added spacing inside the header so content doesn't touch edges. Okay, now flex wrap colon wrap. Okay, so this allow elements move to the text inline smaller screen. Okay, so that's using as flex wrap. Okay, now move on to the logo section. Okay, so logo styling. Okay, the logo text is the bigger and bold to create mm, brand identity. Okay, so that's why using logo side. Okay, then em makes the font responsive based on the parents. Okay, now next one is navigation list. Okay, so first I used list styling none. Remove the default bullet point to the list. That's why using I am list styling none. Second one display flex. So align navigation item to row. That's why using I am display flex. And second one is flex wrap. Parents prevents layout breaking the small screen. So that's why I am using flex wrap. Okay, so now navigation spacing. Okay, now move on to the navigation spacing. Okay, so add a spacing between the menu item for the better readability to click area. So that's why I'm using margin in you inside the nav list. Okay, and second one is, and next one is navigation links. Okay, here is a navigation link. Okay, text decoration none. Why using remove the underline from the link? So that's why using text decoration none. Okay, now second one is, and inside the and by default links showing blue, so I change the color in using color property, their color is white. Okay, and next one is padding. Ensure the clickable area is better user experience, so that's why using I'm padding inside the uh, li in links. Okay, and second one is border radius, gives a smooth rounded corner of the modern look to the links container, so that's why I'm using border radius. Okay, so now hover in your links. Okay, hover and active state. Okay, so hover and active effect provide visual feedback. This help to user know which page is active to click. Okay, so so it's here is used. Now move on to the hero section. Hero section I use text align center. Te- Containers all text for the better focus, so that's why using text align center. Okay, and padding, create spacing around the content and avoid cu- cu- cul- clutter, so that's why I'm using padding. Okay, now next is background gradients. Separated hero section visually from header. Okay, and hero section heading. Okay, so let's understand hero section heading. Large font grabs animation, margin added spacing between the headings, add paragraph. That's why using font size uh, 2.5 em and margin bottom 10 pixel. Okay, now hero section paragraph. So significantly smaller than heading for horizontally margin separated paragraph from the button. So that's why using. Okay, now button styling. Buttons used to small blue color from the consistency, rounded space, remove UI and UX. Okay, now button hover effect, improve instances feedback. Okay, from styling, dark. Now then footer styling. Okay, dark footer separated content visibility, created text keeps it clean and professional. So that's why I'm using background and color, then alert text line and padding. Okay, now move on to the media queries. What is media queries? Media query it means you using different device like a phone, tablet, and laptop. So you are side adjust according to device. So that time I'm using media query to be responsive sites. So that's why I'm using media query. Okay. So now this is the first line is media query media max width 768 pixel. Okay. This applies the style only for the tables and mobile drives. Okay, tablets and mobile drives. Okay, header which is the column layout. Okay, column layout like your screen is small, so that time your content aligned to the columns. Okay, now navigation menu become a vertical from the mobile visibility. Okay, and then text and button font size padding are reduced to fit small screens. Okay, so that's all about my home page css home pages, CSS, all properties and values. Thank you guys.